going to take another look at sigploit, this time all running on the Raspberry Pi, which I've included sigploit in the Dragon OS Pi 64 build, and that's what you're going to see here. I should make it clear, this isn't against a real network. This is just a lab, a learning experience here, and there's no software-defined radios involved in this. You can do it all on the Raspberry Pi. There's a server side and then the client side that we're going to set up here. So if we go to the user source sigploit directory and we look in the testing server attacks, and we have a look at the FRAUD folder and send MZ server, what we're going to do is we're going to query the SS7 or the sigploit server with a particular number, and we're going to try to get the MZ back from that. So a couple things we need to do first before I forget again, because the parameters on the server side, which I have up on the right here to reference, call for a particular IP address for the client and peer. All you need to do is, let's see, maybe expand this a little bit more. We'll do a sudo, actually I'll just reference my things here. Yeah, okay, so do a sudo IP address add the 192.168.58.3 at the dev low, and then also the .2. So you run that twice, and those will get you the IP addresses that are needed. You can already see it exists for me. Knock that out, that way you're set up. And then, just to reference your settings, you can have them off to the side, and then in another window we'll stay in that user source sigploit testing server attacks FRAUD send MZ server, and we'll go ahead and we'll use sudo java jar, and we'll run the server side of this. It should start up and look something like this, initiating the different stacks here it's talking about. Then let's see, we'll come back to the user source sigploit directory, and we'll just run sigploit just like this. We'll select 0 for SS7, and we'll pick number 2 here, and we'll pick 0 for retrieving the MZ of a subscriber. And we'll take a look at the options here, which you can see are not set. This is where these options on the server side come in, and so you would just run set client underscore PC1, set it references on the right peer PC, but that's actually server PC. We'll set that at 2. We'll set client IP 2.168.58.2, client port at 2905. We'll set the let's see, server IP 2.168.58.3, server port 2901. We'll set the target and make sure you're making it match what's here, not necessarily what's on the right there, because you can see it says target instead of target. And so 2015, and what do we got here? Got 82, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so the GT we can set to whatever. Just do 67. And now, let's see, I'll push this off to the side. We'll see some activity in the back. We'll run this, and we'll let it sit for a little bit here. And what should happen, and if it doesn't do it the first time, you might have to do it again, but you should get a connection to the SS7 server. So we can see some information here has popped up. Alright, and there we go. We got the connection, and we retrieved the MZ for the target. We can see the target MZ is right here, and the HLR information as well. So that's a really quick a little lab environment set up for SS7 sigploit on the Raspberry Pi using the Dragon OS Pi 64. So, all right, I think I covered everything. It should, as long as you follow this, you should get the same result. All right, thanks.